They called it Little Poland. At its peak in the 1960s, Penley Polish Hospital was home to 2,000 former servicemen, staff and their families, who became very much part of this small Welsh community. They'd suffered immense hardship and exile before finding a new home in Wales, but their story is not being forgotten. This exhibition in the village church, part of a project to raise awareness of what is a remarkable story of survival and integration. Jarjal Williams' father was a Polish soldier who arrived in Penley after being wounded fighting in Italy.
He was exiled, really. He wasn't going to go back to Poland because there were rumours that if the soldiers went back, they either got imprisoned or they were shot because they saw them as traitors. So he decided to settle. He started to integrate, they married, intermarried, and all of a sudden the community became one community. And I think it's a good example of how two cultures can really come together.
It means a lot because I knew my great-granddad, so I knew him until I was 7 when he passed, and I've always heard stories, and I grew up in Penley, so I do care a lot about World War II because I've done a lot of presentations in college about it, because I do try and put it out there, but it's like no one really cares, but I care a lot about it.
Christine Halpert came all the way from Canada to help tell the story. Her mother, a Polish refugee who worked as a nurse at the hospital before emigrating.
It always bothered my mother that there was very little known about what happened to Poles during World War II, especially the invasion from the Russians. And she took every opportunity to share that story with people because she thought it was important that the world know that. So to know that there is this interest again, a resurgence of interest in the history would have made her extremely happy.
Project organisers say there are more plans in the pipeline to raise awareness.
The camp itself was a community in itself. They had everything on site. So the Polish people then had all their children, they all grew up on the camp. So it was very much a Polish village within a village. Honouring those people, their hardships, and not forgetting them, because there's nothing here to say that they were ever here. It's as if they never existed, there's nothing in the village. So it's really important to have something.
There are thousands of Polish nationals here living, which has Polish roots taking back to Second World War. And sometimes people forget why there were so many Polish soldiers staying here after the war in the United Kingdom. And I think it's very important to tell their stories just to know better why people couldn't go back to Poland when the war finished.
The children and grandchildren of these remarkable survivors are determined to ensure their story will not be forgotten. Ian Lang, ITV News, Penley.